Okay, we're going to start with the nation as usual. Minimum wage strike call sparks states and labor row. Consumer rights violation, FCCPC to engage bank, telco and airline. French investors to revive 2,000 abandoned mining pits in Nigeria. Shareholders rally for UBA's 239.4 billion naira rights issue. A malaria vaccine for inauguration in 2 states today. Malaria vaccine, oh, that sounds good. Okay, which story are we starting with?
French investors to revive 2,000.
You sound depressing.
Because I'm not excited.
Rather,
with all their history from the French-speaking countries are now here. So I'm not excited.
Reviving
I don't know what loss, but our Minister for Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, was announcing this memorandum of understanding that we have signed in a statement by a special assistant, Tomori. He said that the agreement would open new opportunities for remediation of the abandoned mining pits, and the minister added that the MOU had boosted President Tinubu's effort at repositioning the country's solid mineral sector for international competitiveness.
I seriously doubt our president will get in bed with a country that is not going to be beneficial to our country.
It's the history.
His history.
They say know your enemy.
The same.
But they will not do the same thing here.
We have the history with British colonies.
But Murayo, you see, you can't blame me for being pessimistic. Yes, we've signed some contracts, some MOUs in the past. You don't even benefit, you don't even near to benefit. So now we're not going to pick somebody that we shouldn't even be dining with.
Not easy.
We should have long fork. But I saw that the picture, you can see the picture, the UBA guy is there.
So it's protecting our interest,
the picture is in the
hopefully.
So I want to believe that Nigerian businessmen are also in this, and they will be bringing the private sector eye inside.
Okay, so the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has launched a consumer complaint against leading players in the banking, telecommunications, and aviation sectors. The inquisition, which will begin from tomorrow, which is today, are intended to address issues of poor service delivery, exploitative practices, and potential consumer rights violations. So in the banking sector, the FCCPC will engage GT Bank over reports of network failures that hinder consumers from accessing their banking applications. The telecommunications MTN Nigeria faces questions regarding persistent complaints of undelivered data services, unexplained data depletion, and others. Similarly, Air Peace Limited will also have to address allegations of exploitative ticket pricing, including significant price hikes for advanced bookings on certain domestic routes. So pretty much, FCPC is looking out for Nigerians in this regard. Very important. For the telecom sector, the banking sector, the aviation sector, and other sectors, so that they begin to see that customer service is so important. And FCPC is like the police, ensuring that they deliver optimum services to Nigerians. And I'll see how that goes.
In 3 states and the Federal Capital Territory resolved at the weekend to boycott work from today over the disagreements with the authorities on implementation of the new minimum wage. So in some other states, there's confusion following the directive by the National Secretariat of the Nigeria Labour Congress for workers in those states to embark on strike over the issue. Some of the state councils of the NLC are threatening strike, not based on the refusal of the state governments to pay, but due to lack of mutual agreement on what is being offered. The NLC and Trade Union Congress, that's the TUC councils in Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and the Federal Capital Territory have also directed their workers to begin their strike today. So in these states, the government have announced a minimum wage to be paid, but there's a disagreement on the mode of implementation of that minimum wage. Ebonyi announced 75,000, Nasarawa 70,500, Kaduna 72,000, FCT 70,000. And we know that the minimum wage has stipulated 70,000 for the least paid workers. So the payment had commenced since September. They said more than 30 states have sealed agreements with their workers to pay the various amounts ranging from 70,000 to 85,000. That's the ones being paid by Lagos and Rivers State. Now in Kaduna, the state government said it had commenced payments, but the workers kicked, saying that there was no consequential adjustment. I don't know what that means. In Ebonyi, where government has proposed 74,000, workers are rejecting it, saying that this was a decision taken without their own consultation. In FCT, workers in the area said there's no agreement to pay, although federal government, that's Wike, the Minister Wike had already announced that they were going to be paying the 70,000 naira as minimum wage. So it's been like some states are saying that you did not consult us to pay this amount. Some states are saying that you are not paying us enough. We should have that meeting before you pay. But since the federal government are giving 70,000 benchmark, if your state is paying you 74, 72, I don't know why you want to have another consultation to agree on what is to be paid. At least for now, let's just even ensure that the minimum wage is being paid. We can now start conversations on what our states can afford. Can they increase it or not?
I've studied this.
My thoughts.
To solve
a lot of
problems. But one emphasis on this bill is that we are going to task the rich as opposed to usual tasking of poor. So the what's his name? Dele, I think, is chairman of the committee, did a presentation that I watched. Is about almost 20-something minutes presentation. I watch it at length, and I do not disagree
with anything be proposed.
So these people that are fighting about portion and control, the amount you bring, take it. Let it rest.
I did not think governors are fighting.
Yeah, so I have a story. So Lagos State has kicked off the development of Ekpe, a specific area that will be called the Labour City Scheme. This is put together by the New Town Development Authority. The general manager, Olakule Aboyeji, had a stakeholders meeting on Thursday in Ekpe at the Ekpe Resort. And in the stakeholders meeting, they spoke about the fact that they were going to, there had been some demolitions that took place in Ekpe because they were illegal developments that were taking place, and so they had to hold a stakeholders meeting to sensitize about the mixed scheme and Labour City. So they are going to be, there's a proposed Ekpe development scheme that is meant to follow a design pattern, site and service scheme, private sector scheme, and they said it's become necessary because of all the haphazard investment developments taking place within the Ekpe town. And so they've gotten the permission of the Lagos State government. They've done this stakeholders meeting with real estate developers and other stakeholders within the sector, that areas that are not designated as agricultural land in Ekpe will now be put into a proper scheme towards achieving development within that area to avoid encroachment and all of that. So I'm looking forward to how this would play out, because I know that when we have more structured government schemes, development is more rapid within the specific area.
Okay, The Punch. Tax reforms, reps suspend debate indefinitely as northern governors mount pressure. Port Harcourt Refinery, low-key operation begins, marketers oppose the 1,030 naira per litre. Swiss cement maker sells $1 billion stake in Lafarge. Mother of 2 children killed as arsonist sets family ablaze in Lagos. How Obasanjo rejected single-term presidency, say Olanikbekun. And military retirees plan protest over unpaid entitlement. Minimum wage strike begins in 5 states and FCT as panel meets. Let's take one story for the break.
Okay, let's do Port Harcourt Refinery. So, against the rumor, Port Harcourt Refinery has clarified that the operations was not completely halted. They had a small glitch, according to this person speaking on behalf of them. Let me quickly get his name. Mr. Moi Maiduna is, the managing director, director of operations, the Nigerian Pipeline Storage Company Limited. He said they had a small glitch, and the terminal manager also, the Port Harcourt Depot, Wolu Joel, said a small glitch was all they suffered, and they had to take a step back to do improvements. Yes, to do an improvement. And he assured that they are also, well positioned to distribute PMS, which they have now. They have kerosene and they have diesel. But he then decried the issue of truck drivers refusing to come and pick it up. So the issue with Ipman is saying that the refinery is selling at a price higher, 60 naira higher than the normal price of petrol, because they're selling at 1,030 naira per litre. And so they are saying they would not buy from the Port Harcourt Refinery. And the NNPCL denied that, but they didn't state
the price.
So when their person, that's the Well Oju, who is the director of operations, the terminal manager of the Port Harcourt Depot, said that they have not seen truck drivers willingly come to buy as expected. I think I would tend towards Ipman's position. But, they are also inviting them to come. It's important that we are very transparent at this time. We don't suffer too much today for somebody to be messing with our minds. I was super excited that the refinery getting back.
So much expectation.
So let it reflect price drop and ease for the people. Simple and short. Yeah. I don't know how you structure it.
Debatable. Let's go to short. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.